in light of this, the conversation has come up once again about the gloves.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the gloves. There was a time not that long ago where Mark Ratner was talking about potentially Mark Ratner, of course, the VP of Regulatory Affairs, legend, Hall of Famer, about modifying the gloves, going to maybe a more curved glove, a la Pride back in the day. There are pictures. You look at the Pride gloves, your fingers are curved as opposed to the UFC gloves where they're more outstretched. There's also Trevor Whitman. I don't know if you've seen his glove, the Onyx gloves, that he has actually, from what I understand, pitched to the UFC, but for whatever reason, I mean, it would be a little more drastic. It covers, the fingers. We're showing pictures of that as well. It's a different kind of glove, but it would preclude people from poking eyes. Is this just a necessary evil? Like, okay, from someone who's been there and felt it, is there any solution to this, or is this just MMA and guys need to be reprimanded stricter so that they don't do something like this? How do you see
a
it?
lot of times when you are doing that, right? Like when you poke eyes, right? You're trying to grab. And if your fingers aren't allowed to open or straighten, then I think that you could eliminate some of the eye poking. But the reality is there's going to be issues with the gloves being curved if we go forward. It's because my thing is this: you're never going to find something that works perfectly. There's going to be issues with everything. And I don't know what it's going to take in order to stop eye pokes. I believe still eye pokes will still happen. Maybe not as frequently, but I believe they'll still happen. But let me think about the eye pokes happen just about every fight. The big one that just happened with Belal is probably when was the last time a big one like that happened? Right? Where it was so damaging. Like,
I mean, honestly, yours.
yeah, but that was 6 months ago, 7
No,
months
I'm
ago.
saying, yeah, no, it's important to know that this doesn't happen every single
Yes,
Saturday, but it happens enough, and
it
it's
does.
gruesome.
It does. That one was bad.
Yeah.
But I think he scratched Bilal's the bottom of the eye, right? It was
Right.
like it went in the eye, but the nail kind of like scratched the bottom. That was the blood. Having curved gloves will help because it does allow you to still lock your hands and wrestle, right?
Mhm.
If your gloves are curved like this, you can still lock your hands with the grip. You can still grab. You can still do everything. It keeps the fingers from going straight. Even when Jones would touch people in the eye, he wasn't trying to. He was just trying to manage distance, right? And because he's so long, he put his arms out. This thing that they started implementing, where you're supposed to have your hand up,
Mhm.
has helped. But the reality is, you're in a fight, and sometimes those things happen. Unfortunate that it happens in those big spots. But yeah, I mean, I'm all for different designs on the gloves, but I do believe that with the different designs, don't know what the issue will be. There will always be something because in a fist fight, it's never perfect. It's never perfect. Even boxing, right? In boxing, you see guys sometimes they're
Yep.
punching with the glove and they hit them with the wrist, and the
Yep.
wrist cuts them, right? But they got full gloves on. Nobody, you're not supposed to punch people with the tape on your glove, but sometimes it happens and guys get cut. There's always going to be issues, but we should do whatever's necessary to try to limit those things.
Have you tried Whitman's gloves?
No, I haven't tried. Only gloves I've ever trained with outside of the UFC or just those small 4-ounce gloves, which I didn't do very much when I was fighting, is those ones that had like the big cushion on the front. Problem with that is they're so big and
Right.
they're kind of bulky, right? But they're not Whitman's gloves. I'm sure Trevor, who's been around the game so long, has a really good idea and design for the gloves. The gloves, sorry, if they're going to use them going forward.
Were the Strikeforce gloves at all different than the UFC gloves?
Oh, they were very similar. They were
Okay.
very, very similar. But I don't remember Strikeforce having that many issues with the eye pokes.
And less fights also, right? So there's
Less
like
fights. It wasn't happening
smaller
every
sample
game.
size.
It
Have
just
you ever
seems
tried the
like
Pride gloves?
I don't even know what the Pride gloves are. Like I just
The blue ones. Remember those? They were a little more rounded.
I do believe that the rounded glove could help as
Yeah.
long as it's not so much that it's making it into a fist.
Right.
You just don't want it into a fist. You want to be able to maneuver and use your hands, right? So if it's just a little curve, just to bend the front, okay. But not anything that makes your fingers kind of all the way go forward.
The thing is, this sport is about to be 28 years old. At least the UFC, the sport in North America, 28 years old. evolution is an important part of the sport, right? The NBA, you look back when the NBA was 28 years old, it doesn't look the same. The rules aren't the
No.
same. So I hope that, even though I'm not here to make a mountain out of a mole, I hope that they look at situations like this and say, okay, are we doing everything that is needed to continue to evolve the sport and make it as safe as possible? So that situations, no one wins in a situation like this. No one wants this.
Absolutely. And the UFC has shown, right, that they've been willing to evolve and change. You've seen things, right? Even from
The gloves need to evolve. The gloves need to evolve.
The gloves, yes. But even from the uniform, people hated the uniforms, but the UFC was trying to get in line with most professional sports, right? They've been willing to change. Now it might be time for looking into an adjustment to the gloves, and I think
Don't get me started on the uniforms, which, by the way, are going to change next month. There's already some pictures leaked out of the new
Venom. I saw that. I wish I could see that, but I saw my man the other day. Dudes from Tennessee wearing Brazil shorts. Ryan Spann is wearing Brazil shorts. So Reebok's like, yo, you want that color? Cool, dog. We're out of here in a couple months. Like, they don't even care no more. Like, yo, you want yellow? Cool. We'll give you yellow, put you from Brazil. Whatever you decide, we'll do.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.